Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business.
The mystery surrounding Tak's death has taken a new twist, with police reopening the case and revealing some shocking new details. According to one officer, Tak was actually an industry plant sent in to stop the rivalry between the Red and Blue Street teams. But the plan didn't work, and soon after, Tak mysteriously passed away. But here's where it gets really interesting. Back in 2010, rapper Treach gave an interview where he talked about Tupac. Treach and Tupac were tight, having worked on a few albums together. But something strange happened during the interview. After the cameras were off, the interviewer casually asked Treach about Tupac, and he dropped this bombshell: the last time I saw him, he was in Cuba. The cameraman didn't stop recording, and you could hear Treach's words clearly. This one moment raised a lot of questions about Tupac's fate. Just 3 weeks later, a video appeared on a news website showing a man who looked a lot like Tupac hanging out in Cuba with fans and the outlaws around him. The video made waves, sparking the huge "Tupac is alive in Cuba" theory that still gets talked about today. Fast forward to 2025, and the theory is no longer just a conspiracy. With people like Suge Knight even agreeing that Tupac might be alive, it seems the mystery of Tupac's death is far from over. What do you think? Is Tupac really alive in Cuba? Let us know your thoughts. The idea that Tupac is still alive has been around for years, and some of the people closest to him have backed it up. One of the strongest voices in this theory is Suge Knight. In a powerful interview, Suge shared a moment from the night Tupac was rushed to the hospital. He said, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can go from doing fine to suddenly passing away." His words really make you wonder, how could Tupac be laughing and joking if he was supposedly in a deep sleep? And it doesn't stop there. In a 2008 interview, Suge said the same thing, almost word for word. He mentioned that Tupac was conscious on the way to the hospital and even after surgery. So how could Tupac go from being fine to dying so suddenly? With all these strange details, it's hard not to ask, could Tupac really still be alive? Or is there something more to this story? It's a mystery that continues to spark debate, and we want to know, what do you think? Could Tupac be out there somewhere living his life away from the spotlight? Let us know your thoughts. After Suge Knight's interview where he claimed Tupac was alive, things took a scary turn. Just 2 weeks later, Suge was nearly shot 6 times outside a nightclub. He survived, but he didn't trust the police. He immediately felt that his comments about Tupac had made him a target. Then, in 2018, Suge Knight's son, Suge Jr., stirred up more controversy when he posted on Instagram that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. After that post, Suge SR shared a chilling message on his own Instagram, a text that read, "You've said too much. It's time for you to go." This only added to the mystery. Things got even stranger when Suge Jr. started posting pictures of Tupac with celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem like someone was after him for revealing this information. In one post, he shared a photo of Tupac and Beyonce with the caption, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." Now, people are wondering, was Suge Jr. just trying to get attention, or did he know something bigger was going on? Could there really be someone trying to silence him? It's a question that keeps a lot of people on edge. What do you think? Was it all just a stunt, or is there more to this story? Let us know what you believe. Some people believe that Suge Jr. knows more about Tupac's death than anyone else, considering his father, Suge Knight, was right there when it happened. While many think Suge Jr. might just be trying to get attention, others feel his post could hold some truth. But what really got everyone talking were the shocking words from Snoop Dogg. Fans were already upset about Snoop's involvement, and things got even more intense when a now-arrested man named Keith D gave an interview that added a new twist to the story. He claimed that Tupac was targeted because he was reaching for his firearm when the car pulled up alongside them. Keith D explained, "As we were driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, I saw Tupac pull something out that looked like a gun." He added, "I ducked as soon as I saw him reach for it." This raised the possibility that Tupac knew something bad was about to happen and was getting ready to defend himself. Unfortunately, he wasn't quick enough. The interview went viral, and it made everyone question what really went down that night. So what do you think? Was Tupac really targeted, or was he just trying to defend himself when the attack happened? Could there be more to the story than we know? Drop your thoughts below. We'd love to hear what you think. Snoop Dogg's role in the Tupac case took an unexpected twist when he revealed that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac on the night of the shooting. In an interview, Snoop explained that he and Tupac weren't getting along at the time, so he didn't give him any advice about where to go. "When we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them," he said. This upset a lot of fans, especially because Snoop was so connected to the streets back then. Some people believe that Snoop might have gotten a tip about a plan to target Tupac that night, and that's why he decided not to join him or even be near him. Things got even more serious when the police investigated Snoop Dogg, and rumors started to spread that he had been arrested in connection to Tupac's death. A tweet even surfaced claiming that Snoop was arrested in relation to the shooting, adding more fuel to the fire. So, what do you think? Was Snoop Dogg just staying away to avoid trouble, or did he know something about the attack that night? Could he have been tipped off? It's a mystery that keeps getting deeper. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think Snoop was involved or just trying to stay out of it? The police are now questioning a recent interview with Snoop Dogg where he revealed something shocking. He was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight the night of the shooting. This led to an old video of Snoop going viral where he opened up about his friendship with Tupac. However, just 2 days before Tupac's death, Snoop felt like Tupac suddenly hated him. In the video, Snoop said, "A week before we were best friends, but 2 days before he passed, I felt like he didn't like me anymore." Snoop explained that it all started when they were in New York. He said, "In New York, they shot at me and did some of the worst things you could imagine, but I forgave him. I went on to do an interview, and when I was asked about Puff Daddy and Biggie, I said I wanted to make music with them. I didn't realize at the time how it would make Tupac feel." Snoop admitted that he wasn't thinking about Tupac's feelings and was just focused on how he felt in the moment. "I wasn't looking for controversy. I liked their music, and at one point, we were all friends. There's even video of all of us hanging out together." Snoop's words have made many fans wonder about the tension between him and Tupac in the days leading up to Tupac's tragic death. Do you think their falling out played a part in what happened, or was it just a misunderstanding? What's your take on the situation? Drop your thoughts below. In Las Vegas, Tupac and his record label boss, Suge Knight, were on their way to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson fight. After the match, things took a turn when they spotted an enemy in the hotel lobby. Suge Knight, Tupac, and their entourage came face to face with Keith D, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, and a few of their friends. Keith D later told LAPD Detective Greg Kading in a statement he made years ago, one that couldn't be used against him, that the whole thing was about retaliation. Tupac had jumped Orlando earlier at the casino, and it all stemmed from a long-standing grudge. Tupac was angry because Orlando had stolen his necklace years earlier in Compton. Casino security quickly stepped in to break up the fight, but the tension didn't end there. Tupac and Suge headed back to their hotel to change and then planned to hit a club to enjoy the rest of the night. But by 11 p.m., everything would change. What do you think? Could this moment at the casino have been the trigger for what happened later that night? Do you believe the altercation had a bigger impact on the events that followed? Drop your thoughts below. We want to hear what you think. Tupac and Suge Knight were on their way to the club when things took a dangerous turn. Word had spread about Tupac's concert at the club 662 in Orlando. Keith D and their crew jumped into their white Cadillac to look for Tupac. It didn't take long before they spotted his caravan at the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Colville Lane. The white Cadillac pulled up next to Tupac's black BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat. Then, without warning, the back window of the Cadillac rolled down and shots were fired. Tupac was hit twice in the chest, once in the arm and once in the thigh. The whole thing happened so fast, and for over a decade, the mystery of that night lingered with no clear answers. However, the investigation took a surprising turn when Keith D gave an interview on DJ Vlad's show. In the interview, he described how they ended up finding Tupac. He said Bubble Up was driving and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat. We were all in the car together. Keith D explained that as they were driving around, they overheard some girls talking about Tupac. We heard them say, "Tupac, Tupac," and that's when we knew we were getting close. This interview opened up new questions. What do you think happened that night? Was it a random act, or did Tupac become a target? How do you think the events unfolded? Share your thoughts with us. We'd love to hear what you think. That night, Tupac was hanging out of the car window, enjoying the vibe like he was in a parade. He seemed carefree, but things quickly took a dangerous turn. Keith D was driving toward the BMW with Suge Knight behind the wheel and Tupac in the passenger seat. For over 2 decades, the Tupac case had gone cold with little to no answers, but then, out of nowhere, Keith D stepped forward claiming he had the real story. Many people were skeptical, wondering if Keith D was really there that night. To prove he was telling the truth, he released an interrogation video with the police from that same night, confirming his involvement. In the interview, Keith D described what happened as they pulled up next to Tupac's car. He said, "Suge looked over and saw me. He looked right at me then. He mentioned that Tupac was distracted, possibly trying to get out of the back seat. I saw Orlando cross in front of the car, and he leaned over to roll down the window," Keith D explained. The tension was rising, and it was clear that something was about to go down. But what happened next? Keith D's story may just be the key to solving the mystery. What do you think? Could his account be the missing piece in this long, unsolved case? Drop your thoughts below. We'd love to hear what you think about this new twist. In the investigation, Keith D's reaction to Tupac's death gives us a glimpse of how he truly feels about what happened. When he talked about Tupac's passing, he said, "I just hate that it happened. I really do. A lot of people lied about it, and I feel like that was wrong. It was just purely wrong. I wish it never happened." He even mentioned how the whole situation changed his life, saying, "I lost my Colombian plug. I was on the run for 15 years, couldn't catch a break. I did time for it." But here's where things get even stranger. Keith D wrote a whole book about his involvement in Tupac's death called Compton Street Legend. In the book, he talks about his side of the story, includes interviews, and even drops hints about being part of the crime. Despite this book being out for years, Keith D was only recently arrested. Now, fans are questioning why it took so long for authorities to act, especially since the book was published years ago. This has led some people to believe that Keefe D's arrest is all part of a cover-up and that Tupac might still be alive. With everything coming to light, it seems like some powerful people are trying to stop the truth from coming out. So, could this be part of a bigger plan? Are they blaming Keefe D to cover up something even bigger? What do you think? Is Tupac still alive, or do you think Keefe D is being made a scapegoat? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you.